Channel. It's your man Rico the Opinionist. Just finished up with a client, and so I got a few minutes so I can share with you about what I thought about the Color Purple movie. I went to do a pre-screening last night, which was the 19th of December. It was at this little movie theater in Dallas, and it's like, of course, about 98% women there, and I had on my little purple shirt, just be a part of the whole theme. Um, and went in and grabbed a cocktail and but anyway, let's get to it. Well, to just start it off, y'all, the new one, I guess the reboot or whatever, the reissue of the Color Purple movie is basically a musical. If anybody's ever gone to see the play, The Color Purple, it's a musical now. You know the numbers. They sang a lot of the dialogue, or it, yeah, they sang and they danced. So I don't know if you're a man out there who's not into musicals and plays, this is not the movie for you. But um, if you saw the movie in 1985, 86, you saw the same people who were involved then are the same people involved now. Oprah Winfrey and Steven Spielberg, a kind of feminist black chick and a Jewish white man. And the brutality of the image of the black male it's the same. It's just like the first one, but it's some extra stuff added to it. It's When I try to compare the two movies, the movie in 1985 was more dramatic. It was more hit in the gut with the scenes of the violence and the theme. But in this movie version of the musical, I guess of the play, the same thing. Mister is still a monster. The same storyline pretty much, but it just has dance numbers and musical breaks. Everybody's singing in the movie. Um, it wasn't as very direct as it was with when Celie's daddy came in and took her babies. Like, don't ever tell your mother. It'll just break her heart. You got to keep this between you and God. It wasn't that. Had a lot of faces in there that you would be familiar with. Dion Cole played the mean daddy. Is it Dion Cole? I had to. So wow, Dion Cole played the daddy, who turns out not to be her father. Y'all know the original story. And Nettie is now light skinned, of course, played by Halle Bailey. They add a little more to that story. Same thing when he couldn't have her, kicked her out of the house, but it wasn't this. It was something like "We're One Heart," something like that. Um, it's it wasn't it wasn't as in depth, because if you saw the original one, that original one went for the juggler. But the same spirit is there. The spirit kind of gets interrupted with the dancing and the singing. Um, the feminist narratives are still there. The lesbianism is still there, and because Fantasia and Taraji P. Henson, who plays Sugar Avery, Fantasia plays the adult Celia. Yeah, they kiss, but this time in a movie theater. It was just, I don't think as much money was put into this movie, or as much range was put into this movie. They just kind of hit checkpoints, but they were familiar checkpoints in the movie, right? Uh, the acting was good. I think Fantasia did a good job as Celie. I think everybody did a good job of acting. I think Taraji P. Henson did a great job as Suge. You know, you can't judge their performance by the other one, by the original performances. It wouldn't be fair. Harpo was a different kind of Harpo. Of course, Sophia was a different kind of Sophia. Um, what's his name? Louis Gossett Jr. played the cantankerous father of Mister, and some things were cut and some things were added. They actually showed Celie going to visit Sophia in the jail once or twice. But of course, the man's wife, that was kind of played down a little bit. It was some things were played down, some things were added, and some things that some dialogue that was not in the original. And the original Color Purple wasn't there, but still that same theme of back then, black men being, the black man being a monster to this chick, and we're not saying that that wasn't a reality. I guess you have to read the stories of the great grandmothers of that day and what have you. But he owned the same thing where he owned the store. Turns out that her actual mother and father owned the store. You know how she got to get the store and start selling Sealy's pants, and it was this whole sing and dance thing about that. So, you guys, if you're not into musicals and all of that, this is not the movie for you. But I'll go any further with saying that I wouldn't suggest any self-respecting, free-thinking, awake black male should go see The Color Purple. Period. I wouldn't take my daughter to go see this feminist foolishness. Um, isn't it interesting though? And I'm sitting here with a theater full of women, and they ate it up, and ooh, that's right, girl, ha ha ha. When they think they were just telling the men off and all of that. Um, but one thing that's really heavy, the theme that's very heavy in this movie is, and let's go back to 1985, and it come, the feminism and the gender division was there. But y'all see right now, we're all on TikTok, we're all on all these podcasts on Instagram and YouTube. The gender, the gender just in Black America, the gender divide, black men, black women, are just it's. And so with this going on, why do you think Oprah would bring this movie out instead of Oprah using her Harpo Studios, all of her contacts, even her Jewish director, to make a movie to see where black men and black women are coming together instead of trying to profit off our division? And it's something I think we talk about all the time. We talk about with the podcasters, I guess the YouTubers and the folks on Instagram and TikTok. But then you have someone as a huge figure like an Oprah, I guess the ultra feminist. She puts out a movie that in the heart, it's like throwing a grenade in a minefield. And so when I was just sitting amongst all these black women, old, young, whatever, I really want to say to them, y'all really didn't need to, y'all, excuse me, y'all really didn't need this movie. It's not helping your case. It's not going to help your numbers. It relates to how African American women are still finishing last when it comes to the marriages and children for the fathers for their children. This movie does not help. Yeah, it does create it does what it does. It creates this sisters. All we got is each other. We gonna look after each other, sisters. And of course, the men were they were just a decoration at the end. You had appearances by Sierra. You had and her little cute self is in there. It's got a lot of cool people in the movie. All these faces you'd expect to see. It wasn't as dramatic as the first one. The director was a black guy. His name is Blitz something, Alduwadwe, some kind of African name, but I don't think he was given the budget or the leeway to the way it was in 85, 86. Um, it wasn't, and they cut the brutality down some as relates to how Mister was treating Celia. They kind of cut it down, scaled it back um, a little bit. I think it was more like the play. I've never gone to see the play. For those of you who ever went to see the play, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so I wouldn't recommend. Guys, don't waste your money on Christmas Day to go see this crap. Um, that's why I went, so you don't have to go. If you want to see it, it'll be out on Netflix or Paramount or one of these streaming sources. Let's say by January 25th, You'll see it on one of the streaming things. A lot of women gonna go because it's all about this false sense of empowerment, empowering you against your men, and that's what this is. Some more foolishness to separate black men and black women. You know, if you feel you need that empowerment, go on, go. But when you come out of that movie theater, it's not going to make our conditions in this country, our conditions in our relationship any better. They had a question and answer period behind it. I'm like, shit, I'm hungry. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Because I've long since gotten past being that guy who being the opposing voice in a room. I'm kind of over that because I know had I sat there and listened to all of that, no, actually got involved in the question and answer period, it wasn't going to be what they think it is because they were so hyped up about it. Oh, wasn't it wonderful? It was great. It wasn't. It wasn't great. Now, was I into it? Of course, I'm watching the movie. Now, the emotional points, I guess there was some funny parts. I didn't find anything, humorous about it. But of course, they did, and because I'm just built differently, I guess. Uh, Sophia's character was, of course, she was big bad, boom, boom, boom. And then she had to get taken to jail like last time and brought down, and if she got back or came back up. But it was just Oprah. It's just your agenda. It's like Oprah. Why? With all your Harpo connections, your Harpo Studios, even though you don't own the own network anymore, but all this that you have, you come up with something else other than rehashing the color purple. That's what we should be asking the question. Why? And why now would you put out the color purple? Movie is written by an angry lesbian feminist, Alice Walker. Man-hating feminist. And then you put it out there during those times, during I guess that time in America, I guess, try to make make it look as if black men back then had so much power and control during the height of Jim Crow in Jim Crow South. Black men had that much power. Another thing, that part where she said, he said, "You're black, you're ugly, you're a woman, nothing at all." And he said that, but it just, and she threw up the hand and did this. Whatever done to me, I already done to you. And whatever you done, you'll never have any good luck or some kind of mess. And so, y'all know the part in the original when Mister came into the club. This is years later when Harpo and Sophia kind of got back together. And he came in there drunk. He was coming to the Harpo's drunk, and he walked Paul to the door, and Sophia told him, "Hey, look out for him now." Now this is the original, and then he just let him walk on. He gonna be just fine. He gonna be just fine. Well, in this one, he walked him out to the front door and to the front of the place. And he said, he was asking me, "You all right?" And he's like, "Hey, stop touching me. What you hugging on me for?" Just real cantankerous, drunk old fool. He walked up to himself. But let me go back. Because after Celia went away, after Suge Avery took her to Memphis, her and Sweet, they drove off, they made it to Memphis, they showed that part, and Suge Avery lived in a big house with her new husband. And wait a minute, let's go back to when Sophia came into this new one. She came into Harpo's, but with Henry Broadnax, when she sat on his lap and all that, well, he was a prize fighter. And in this part, they told where she had a baby with him. They had a little girl together. They didn't say that in a 1985 version. So they added little nuggets here and there, little things. It was different, right? So when Celie left with what's his name? Left with Suge Avery to go to Memphis, and they pulled off. I may be black, I may be ugly, I may be poor, but I'm here, blah, blah, blah. So all of a sudden, this is the part that I don't like, because I just had this conversation with a friend of mine about black women and karma. Like, they can control karma, control God, and sick God on you to get ready. Like, things happen because you mistreat a black woman. I didn't like that message. because when she left, all of a sudden his crops started messing up. Beetles and bugs started. So he had to burn the whole crop, burn it, destroy his whole crop. And then that took him down. That destroyed him. And that's when he started going to the bar drunk and drunk. So that night when he went to Harpo's, he was drunk and Harpo sent him off. He went walking drunk and walked into the field. It was pouring down raining, and he fell down in the mud like, okay, all right, Karma, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better. I guess the karma had beaten his ass. He had had enough. And so the next morning, mailman brought him a letter that was from Nettie. And that's when, like we saw in the last one, he got the letter and he began the process of helping Nettie with the immigration thing. It wasn't as dramatic when they brought her to the dinner table at the end, but I didn't like the message of, you mistreat a black woman, God gonna get you. Karma, it's almost like when black mothers tell their sons or their children, as long as you don't treat your mama right, ain't none in your life gonna go right. That I never cared for that, because it's very interesting that they can mistreat each other as women. And you can mistreat black sons, you can mistreat black men, but no karma follows you. You mean you're never gonna have good luck? That's why black boys have been dealt a bad hand when it comes to being raised in our community, especially in the last 50 some odd years under just women. We've been dealt a bad hand. All these old wives' tales and these things that aren't true implanted in the minds of black boys now. They're grown men thinking the same thing. You even got old black women. Well, if you don't treat your mama right, you ain't gonna never have no good luck. And God ain't gonna, even mothers who know they ain't been shit to their kids, they get to say that. And that's the part that's really a joke. So I didn't care for that. And at the end, he came in, they showed where they had a piece in there where they made up with each other, and her and Mr. made up with each other. No, not got back together, but they became on friendly terms, and he was invited to her annual dinner thing that she threw, and that's when he let her know that it was, I have a surprise for you. That's when he showed Nettie, played by Sierra, the adult Nettie, played by Sierra, and her African Olivia and Adam and all that. I don't know. It didn't have that same dramatic effect like 1985. It's like it just, again, it was a musical. Fellas, don't waste your money. Don't take your daughters to see this shit. Certainly don't take your sons to see this shit. And Oprah, cut it out, baby. You ought to be ashamed that you would even bring this back out. So I went to the movie so I can let your brothers know. But feel free if y'all want to go. Maybe you think I missed something. But whatever you're thinking ahead of the time about the movie is true. It wasn't as big and bold and in your face as 1985. But the elements are there. Those sisters, again, y'all can leave this movie theater thinking that y'all all powerful and you're on your own if you want to. Things are going to continue to just get worse for you. And I think people like Oprah and Alice Walker and Steven Spielberg, I think that's what they want for you. They don't want to see our race come together as men and women, because you got feminists, lesbians, and Jews all came together to put this movie back out. This time they might actually get Oscar nominations, and they may actually win something. Maybe Golden Globe or something. But if you want to talk about the acting, well, Taraji P. Henson did well. Fantasia did well. The little kids, everybody did a good job as relates to acting, but as far as the message of the movie and all that, there are those of you sisters out there, black women, who want to feel empowered by this. Go ahead. If you don't have anything else to make you feel powerful, fine. But we're going to have to do better than The Color Purple. We have to do better than these TV shows, Sisters, P-Valley, um, Power Book 1, 2, Raising Cain, Black Mafia. We're going to have to do better than this if we're interested in our people actually coming together as a group. We're going to have to, if we're going to continue to, feed off of this foolishness, at least demand that the creators of what we consider black content, rise above the urban aspect of it. We're more, as they say, we're not a monolith as a people. But they always show us in the same light when it comes to these old weird ass little disgusting TV shows that they allow to put on TV. And if we're supposed to have so much ownership in BET, why is there such thing as a Miss Pat and all of these weird ass shows, I guess under the umbrella of Tyler Perry Productions? None of them bring us together. None of them. One against the other, or black men are just pushed out as sexual deviants, homosexuals, batterers. And I'm just over it, But anyway, that was my review. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to, as a man, as a black man, heterosexual, masculine black man, if you want to go and look for yourself, feel free to do so. And we can have a conversation about it, but I'd rather not, because I was over the first one. So since last night, I'm over the new one. But I wouldn't waste your money on Christmas Day going to see this crap. And please, I wouldn't send not a son nor a daughter to see this crap. But I'll talk to y'all later. This is Rico the Opinionist. That's my review of The Color Purple. If I left anything out, please leave it in the chat or in the comment section. Maybe I'll do a part 2 if y'all think I left something out. Or if you have any questions. I'll talk to you later. Peace.